How's everyone doing? Another week, another episode, Stats Over Politics. As always, I'm your host, Shaun alongside my guys, Jaevon, Toddy, Garry, Kevin Dent. How are we doing this week, gentlemen?
Doing well, man. Can't complain. Today was great until I checked the group chat before the show, and he's doing the dance right now. I got sent to TikTok, and it was that bad man, Juju Smith-Schuster. Man, just keep popping up. Can't get rid of him.
Yeah, his Kansas City tenure will not die, at least for Eagles fans. I have not unmuted Garry or Jaevon, so at first I realized, I was like, well, I didn't really address it to anyone. I appreciate Kevin responding, but also Garry and Jaevon, you guys were muted. So Garry, how are you doing while Jaevon continues to dance?
Nothing, chilling. Like I said, I'll just beat me up a little bit, but I'm ready to go, baby. Let's get it.
Jaevon, you look like you're feeling good.
Oh man, on the way home, I just scrolling Instagram, and I was like, the Chiefs at the White House today, and then I just seen Juju. He's trolling again. He's back at it on TikTok, but he's in New England, I think, this year. So we'll see how number one receiver he can be, but. We got a little bit of a story time before we start the podcast. So
all right, go ahead. Just take the mic.
Over the weekend, cousin James and I, we were I don't know if you guys watched me on the Instagram. We're the tag team champs of the world. That's all I got to say. We just went off in pool. We were some pool sharks over the weekend. So me and him, we teamed up, and I don't know. I felt like I was Josh in that Drake and Josh episode. When he goes to the pool, he's like, I've never played pool before. And then he just starts just making everything, all the trick shots and everything. He's like, boom, boom, boom. But then I felt like I was Caleb Martin a little bit, in the playoffs. Just got red hot out of nowhere. It just was making pretty much everything. And I was like, and I told him when I first started. Series. Nah, I said last series.
In 2 games.
Last series against the Celtics. But no, I was just like making everything, and I told him before, I was like, bro, I'm so garbage at pool, and I'm really not that good. And then I just started, I don't know what came over me. And so he has a lot of highlights, so he might be in the comments, or he might be in the comments a little bit. He might be able to, pretty much validate everything that I'm saying. So if you guys think I'm capping, then there's film.
We need some verification here.
There is some verification. There's film on there, so.
Yeah, James is the homie, so I'm sure that he'll be popping into the YouTube comments pretty soon. And real quickly, was that in Rancho Cordova, like right off of Mather Field at the Diamond Billiards? Because there was I went to the gym on Saturday to make up for Friday not going, and there the billiards place that's like in the same parking lot. It was absolutely packed. Cars were everywhere parked. Was that the spot?
We were at so Sophia's little cousin's birthday. She turned 17, so it was at like this hall.
Happy birthday!
It was at this hall off of Fruit Ridge. I don't know the exact.
Okay, no, that is not in the same area. Okay, well, I guess Saturday was just National Pool Day, but anyways, that's awesome, and congratulations. I'm glad that you and James went and did work. Anything special? We can hear Garry sniffling. He's dealing with allergies. I sympathize with him because I got smacked by allergies the last couple weeks ago. Kevin, anything special with you? Any new updates? Anything with Blue or the other animals?
Nah, man. But since we're doing shout outs, man, another day one listener, Toddy and I's teammate, Lefty World General's birthday is tomorrow. So we have to show Kenny some birthday love, man.
I bet you he asked for a shout out.
Oh, nah, of course not. But he always listens, man. He's always tuning in. So I have to show love.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Kenny. We appreciate you for tuning in.
General, for sure.
I don't know if Uncle Manny's going to be here today either because he's in New York with the kids. So he'll having fun in New York. So
Uncle Manny?
Wow.
Yeah,
well,
he's big time in New York this week.
It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock right now where Uncle Manny's at.
Tucked off.
Yeah, he might be tucked off for sure.
Well, we know that Uncle Manny will be tuning into the audio version on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. So there you go. We still appreciate Uncle Manny and everyone for tuning in, as here we are on episode number 32 of Stats Over Politics. Now, guys, let's get to the heart of this week's episode, and that is the NBA Finals, as the Nuggets and Heat are tied 1-1 in the NBA Finals. Last week, 3 of us picked the Nuggets. Kevin picked the Heat. and the Heat are the first team to take down the Nuggets on their home floor, 5,280 feet, Gary.
They're winning the championship.
It's pretty impressive what the Heat did. And so, Kevin, because of that, I'm going to throw it to you first, since you have the only differing opinion here. What did you think about the Heat stealing home court so far through 2 games?
Man, game one was brutal. You know, the last podcast, you know, we all talked about how Caleb Martin was 1 vote away from Eastern Conference MVP, you know, taking home that Larry, and then he showed up to the finals and left his game in Boston. Same with Max Strus. You know, funny stat, first player in NBA history with 10+ attempts and 0 points. So my man was just throwing up bricks. That's
game 2, though.
Yeah, no, game 2. Yeah, I'm getting there. Game 2, though. They both came to life. Game 1, they were both virtually unplayable. We saw Jimmy kind of come out there and not do his thing. But game 2, like Shaun mentioned, they did something that the Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, the Phoenix Suns with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker couldn't do, which win in Denver, handing them their first L. I was telling everybody, if they can't win one in Denver, they're not going to be able to win the series. You got to be able to win one in Denver. They were undefeated up until this point. The Heat really came in and made a lot of adjustments. This was their first win in Denver since 2016, and they came a deficit of 15 points. You know, Gary's guy Bam, he was trying to tell us early, man. In these past 2 games, averaging 24 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 54% from the field and 100% from the line. I don't know. We all clowned him. We saw the comments. We all
showing up,
and like he said last week, and only one of them still playing. Gabe Vincent came back, you know, with a vengeance, was scoring 23 points. He's gonna
get paid.
He's gonna get paid. Spoke came in and made a lot of adjustments. Jamal Murray was guarded by Jimmy Butler 4 times, and in game 1 finished with 26 points. Jimmy Butler guarded him 35 times, and he finished with 18. So that matchup alone. And I'm a big LeBron guy, so I can't come on this pod and not give no love to Kevin Love. DNP game 6. DNP game 7. DNP game 1. Throw him in the lineup. Let's see what he can do. We're tired of seeing Nikola Jokic just go at these guys. So we got to mix it up. Throw him out there, bring in that championship level pedigree. And it showed. I know we all saw the clip of him locking up Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. had nowhere to go. So it's looking good for Miami. But to get on with my monologue, 80% of the game 3 winner wins the NBA Finals, and I'm going with the Heat in game 3, baby.
What does
Let it be known.
LeBron have to do with anything?
Hey man, I gotta show love to all his guys. If there was a JR comment, I throw love to JR. He's from all the guys.
They're all off of, like, you know how they do with the coaches, how it's the coaching tree. It's the LeBron tree. It's the LeBron tree of teammates. I mean, because LeBron that was the funny thing too about the Western Conference Finals, is they kept saying like, oh, Jeff Green, former teammate of LeBron, Contavious Conwell Pope, former teammate of LeBron, and it was just like all of the former teammates
like half the league.
of LeBron. Exactly. I mean, when you've been in the league for 20 years, it'll happen.
KCP, former teammate of LeBron.
Exactly. And so I just want to get to a couple of the YouTube comments here. YouTube.com/statsoverpolitics, as Angelo B says, he in 7. So
I'm trying to let him know. I'm trying to preach to him. They know they don't want to listen to me, Angelo.
And then Uncle Manny as well, checking in from New York. Uncle Manny, we were just saying in the intro, we weren't sure if you were already asleep and then tuning into the audio, but we appreciate you checking in on vacation, Uncle Manny. You want to say anything to your uncle, Gary?
Thought he was asleep. Oh, damn, you didn't mute it, my boy.
You muted yourself. Allergy season has gotten the best of Gary.
I know. I said, shout out to Uncle for still tuning in, even on vacay. I said, shout out to Unc for still tuning in on vacay. I thought he might be asleep right now, but real support.
He had to lock in.
Straight up.
We appreciate Uncle Manny. And Kevin, the one thing I wanted to follow up on from what you said, your monologue, and it was all very well said, is you mentioned the 2 teams that the Nuggets have gotten past, or 2 of the teams that the Nuggets have gotten past. I just got to say, another loyal listener, your guy Wes, I think he would be a little upset if you didn't mention that the Nuggets also beat Ant-Man and the Timberwolves, because you mentioned Kevin Durant and the Suns, you mentioned LeBron and the Lakers, but you failed to mention the Timberwolves. For Wes, I had to make sure that was said before we move on. you got something to say to that? Kevin?
I ain't gonna lie to you. ESPN didn't even post him in the graphic. I could have thought they had a first round bye.
They won a game, Kev. They won a game.
Hey, shout out to the Timberwolves for
the
winning
Lakers
the game.
Couldn't get a game.
That's a fact. So, Gary, I mean, what did you think about these first two games that we've seen as it's tied 1-1?
Yeah, looking at my notes here for game one, I written down like really it came down to I ain't gonna lie, I really feel like no matter what, the Denver were gonna win game one just because the Celtics were coming off. No, the Celtics. I wish it was the Celtics, right, Vaughn? The Heat are coming off that brutal series with the Celtics going all the way to game seven. So I feel like, it was gonna be pretty tough. And obviously, like Shaun would say, they're going from sea level to all the way to mountain level, whatever they say. So that was gonna be a pretty tough one for them to win in game one. So I feel like that was like, they weren't making no threes and they weren't attacking the basket enough. Exactly, mile high. They weren't making enough threes, weren't attacking enough at the rim. And Denver pretty much controlled everything from start to finish, in my opinion, and really chalked it up to Denver. I feel like that was a really gimme game. And game two was the game. Game two was the game for the Heat that they wanted to win and keep this series alive and make it competitive. Like Kevin said, they had to get one. In Denver. My bad, you guys. So sorry. Horrible for the audio. But anyways, so game two, I know Shaun's shaking my head because the producer in him is really pissed off.
No, bro. I was shrugging my shoulders because there's nothing you can do about that. Like, I know firsthand how bad allergies can be and how tough it can be. We appreciate you still joining us even when you're feeling a little under the weather. So please finish what you were saying.
Toddy didn't do it. So credit to you, Gary.
It's all good. We got to
keep one listeners. That was like episode 2.
It's all we all rocking. So like I feel like Heat brought it in the first, and then Denver came back and slapped him in the mouth. And the Heat rallied back and were able to control the fourth quarter and get on a run and end the game. They play like a veteran team plays, even though they don't have that many veterans like in terms of the key guys playing, like other than Bam, Kyle, and Jimmy. Everyone else is still pretty relatively young in the league. And they played in spurts and well. And so when you play clutch time, you play in spurts offensively and defensively great. That's how you can string together a win. And I think the key, and everyone's kind of pointing out Jokic having more turnovers than assists and making them score and things of that nature. And I know Eric Spoelstra kind of denied that, and I think even the coaches did too. I think it was more if y'all watched the game, but I got a sense of more like that Jimmy Butler and Jamal Murray matchup making it difficult for him all game, making it difficult for Jamal all game, not getting a rhythm, and not really letting the offense explode, letting the others get rhythm. Now, we don't see Michael Porter hitting threes. We're not seeing too many KCP hitting threes. So when you kind of take the other guys out of the rhythm, taking out, they weren't really in the pass lanes, but they weren't making Jokic having easy dump down passes like he had to Aaron Gordon last game, wide open threes to Bruce Brown. They were taking a lot of those away, especially that zone in the fourth quarter. Again, we all know the Heat zone has been a great on and off switch for them all year long, especially the playoffs. So them just be able to just string together some stops and get into rhythm in that fourth quarter, and Jimmy Butler really putting the dagger in that one, I think really helped the Heat control that game at the very end and get out a W. It wasn't as beautiful or as controlling you would want the Heat to win, but they won in Heat fashion. They grinded it out and they got a W. So I feel like, Denver's obviously my pick. I think if you guys see my IG, I'm just praying for a game 7. I just want a great finals, just keep seeing. So I actually was pulling for the Heat last game, and next game I'll be pulling for whoever because I don't really care. I just wanted to keep tying it up after 4, tied up at 2-2, and let's get it going all the way to game 7. So I think it was so far. I think the Heat and the Denver Nuggets has been a great series, and I think the Heat still have a great chance to win in this series in Denver. If they play their A game, I don't think no one could beat them. But as we've seen last night, when they're not playing their A game, they're able to get beat.
So, Jaevon, you are just like myself in the sense that you picked the Nuggets in 5. So with the Heat, I was never worried about the Heat winning a game. That's what goes with us picking the Nuggets in 5. I didn't think it was going to happen this early. I thought it would have been either 3 or 4 in Miami. So I was a little surprised to see the Nuggets lose their first game on their home floor throughout this postseason. So are you confident still in your pick that the Nuggets are going to finish it off in 5, meaning they win the next 3 games?
I'm a little worried. Just based off the fact that the Nuggets kind of controlled the majority of this game, I'd say up until late third, early fourth, and that's kind of when Jimmy Butler started happening. Bam was knocking down shots. You got Duncan Robinson coming off screens, not flexing on everybody, going to the rack. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Who the fuck is that guy?
That's Duncan Robinson.
So, when you got, Strus is he comes out with like the first 10 points, and you got guys knocking down shots. Gabe Benson I think he had a 23-point game, as Kevin mentioned earlier in his soliloquy. It was kind of just, when the Heat are clicking on all cylinders, they're a really tough team to beat. I know from experience because we just won 7 games with them. We being the Celtics. I mentioned on last week's podcast that usually when Nikola Jokic when he's able to get a lot of rebounds and assists at the same time, they usually win those games. And last night, albeit, Jokic had 41 points. I did not know that prior to this podcast. Before this podcast, I was like, damn, Jokic had 41. They still lost. But he had 11 rebounds, double-double. I think his over was like 12.5. So be careful on those over-unders for those prize picks and those player props. So he only had 4 assists last night. Jamal Murray was the leading assist leader with 10, but he had 18 points, and we saw him have 26 the night before, so he had a bit of a more down night. But I thought he played really well against Jimmy Butler. It was kind of just down the stretch. Jimmy he's like, give me the ball and get the hell out the way, and I'll figure it out. So the Heat are a scary team when Jimmy he'll have a very rough game, but at the end, he'll give you like 15 points down the stretch, and he won't score like the entire game, but he'll score 10 straight, 15 straight. He's a guy that can do that. And when Bam Adebayo is playing the way that he's been playing, shout out to Garry. It didn't age, right. People they want that quick turnaround, Garry. That's what they want, but they gotta let him ride out a little bit. Give us some time.
Let it simmer, baby.
Yeah, you're not Bitcoin. You're more like I'm putting stocks in Apple. I'm not worried about what's going on next week or the week after that. You gotta give it some time. Give it some time. So Gary's take is starting to age like wine. So
I don't know if I would go that far. I wouldn't go that far. I'm sorry.
It's not. It's
we were still talking Anthony Davis versus Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo might be a great player on his own. All right, I'll leave it there. I'm just saying it ain't aging like wine for me.
Postseason. Let's keep the context good.
We might be having a little. There might be Bam Adebayo has entered the chat. So if the Heat do get a ring, so I think the Nuggets have to respond, and it's tough because me and you being me and Shaun, we picked the Nuggets in 5 games, but they won the second game at home, and they're going back to Miami with the momentum. Betting man in me says Heat spread.
No way, no how.
But yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. I think the coaching in this series has been top level. I think the Nuggets know how to break this 2-3 zone, but Spo's been sticking with it, and he's been getting some good results these past couple of series. So we'll see how long they stay in this 2-3 zone and see if it's effective. If the Nuggets are knocking down shots like they were in Game 1, then they'll probably adjust to that. But you gotta watch out for the Heat, man. The Heat is on, as all the Heat fans say.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, adding to Von's point, take some they're playing that zone really good. They got to stay really disciplined, and I don't have the stat on me right now, but just to your credit, Von, I was gonna say that I think that Joker's like under 500 when he scored like 40 plus this postseason or something like that. I know he's not. I bet you Kev got it on him. Kev probably got the stat on him. 0-3. See, so exactly. So and I got this stat too today. Slowly.
Garry has a stat. Great news. Okay.
You know me, man. I like the politic, man. Anyways, the record teams this season going into the postseason, or actually in the postseason, trailing by 10 at any point of the game. The rest of the league is 16-64. I bet you Kev already has this one too. And the Heat are what? 7-6. So they're on a positive side. They're a team that doesn't give up, and yeah, simple as that. Don't give up no matter how much they're down. So that's one thing you do got to kind of be worried about with this team. If you're a Denver Nuggets fan, this is because you're up by 15 or even like they were 20 or anything like that. Like the Heat are going to keep coming in waves, and they're going to be able to get some stops and get some points on the board. And especially they've been 3-point snipers, man. There's some of the threes that they be hitting lately, like catch and shoot, hand in the face, bullseye from all types of players. So especially Kyle Lowry lately too. Like he's shooting from deep and like they're rotating. Like Denver's rotating perfectly, hand in the face and everything. It's just knocking them down. So you got to give this Heat team credit, man. When they're hitting these threes, I know they're just not a 3-point shooting team, but like any team in the league nowadays, if you're hitting threes, it makes everything smooth like butter.
I think Hero's supposed to be coming back for Game 3, if I'm not mistaken. So
I don't know about that because after Game 1, the reports were maybe Game 2. He didn't play Game 2, and when I was at Planet Fitness today, I glanced at the television. Breaking news: Tyler Hero still has a sore wrist, still sore, still swollen. So
do you believe that, Shaun, or do you feel like they're doing that on purpose?
I don't.
Exactly. What do you got? Do you feel like they should bring him back or no?
Well, they won without him, but I mean, it'd be nice to have him. It wouldn't be like if he can play and be like, nah, rest this. Nah, if he could play, then let him play.
And also if Max Strus and Duncan Robinson or Caleb Martin or any other undrafted players, if they tend to go cold, I think they would feel a lot better having Tyler Hero, former like 13th overall pick, I think is what it was. Mm-hmm. So Kentucky, I think they would feel, they would feel a lot better about their chances if they did have Tyler Hero. And
a lot of Wildcats in this finals, if you think about it.
Lots of Wildcats everywhere. And just to follow up on the stat that Garry and Kevin were talking about is that the Heat now are tied for the most wins when trailing by 10 plus points in the postseason in the last 25 years. Along with the Miami Heat from 2011 and 2012, and then also along with the Warriors from 2022. So the Miami Heat are comeback kings so far, it seems. And Jaevon, you told the story about Poole at the beginning of the podcast, and I just got to tell a quick tangent just to brush off my own shoulders and also to give these guys a shout out because I'm in a group chat with my cousin Chris, who's an older cousin, like 15 years older than me. Lives in San Diego, and it's with all of his friends, right? And it's a FanDuel league just to like join, play fantasy FanDuel. And it's like we play $5.
Kevin's blessed.
Everyone throws in $5 like every game that we play, and $5 to $10. I constantly lose because it's winner take all, and I always finish in second place.
Damn.
Well, I finally won yesterday. I haven't been playing every time anymore because I'm tired of losing my money, but I decided to play yesterday. And I just want to give a shout out to Max Strus, to to Gabe Vincent as well, because starting off that game, they were just getting my numbers up. And then Jokic and Aaron Gordon, as well as Jamal Murray, they carried me to the victory.
How much you get for
getting? Well, you can do the math. There was 8 people total, so not counting myself, so 7. I got $5 from everyone. So it's so much money. I mean, it's a lot better than losing that $5 constantly. So I just want to give a shout out to that group chat because they always talk shit to me in that group chat because I'm the youngest, and some of them do say that they tune in. So if they actually have tuned in and they're not lying, this is the shout out you guys have been asking for. So
appreciate that.
There you go. Do you guys have any other thoughts on the NBA Finals so far through 2 games before we move on?
I think we got to get your guys' Game 3 picks.
I'm going with the Nuggets because I am sticking with my Nuggets in 5 pick. It's like, okay, the Heat, they got their one early, but I think the Nuggets are going to continue to prove that they're the best team in the NBA this year. And so I got the Nuggets winning Game 3 and the next 3 games in total. What do you think, Kevin? I mean, answer your own question there.
Next time we come on this podcast, man, it's going to be Heat 3-1.
Wow. Kevin says the Heat win 3 games in a row. So Jaevon, you also
I just
Nuggets
checked
in 5.
Or no, 2 round. No, we'll be here before because when's the next game?
It's Game 5. We're gonna be next Monday is gonna be Game 5. So we're gonna guarantee have that game, and it's gonna be So either we're gonna have a 3-2 or we're gonna see how it's gonna shake. It could be done. Technically, it could be done.
Could
be done next time we're on this pod. If Shaun and them are right, if it's 4-1,
that'd be
well,
nuts.
you mean when Shaun and Jaevon are right? Mm-hmm. Jaevon, what do you think?
I gamble, so Heat are plus 115 right now. That's juicy, so I'm taking the Heat plus 115.
Oh, he
That's
said,
juicy.
"Fuck my own pick."
It's juicy, but
Listen,
yeah,
I'm
it's
going
probably
with the
I'm following the money.
Follow?
Following that bag, Kev. So I like Jokic over in points, though. I think it's over. Jesus, it's like 33. 33 is over, and I take the over on his points. But I like Heat money line plus 115. Got to take it. They're coming off a win in Denver, and they're going home with the momentum. I don't know how they're in plus money, but they're the dogs. So both games they were minus like 300 favorite dogs. So I mean, if you bet on the Heat to win this last game, want some money for sure.
Almost did, Toddy.
They're like plus 250 or something, 280, something crazy. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm hearing all of this great advice, right? And you were saying how it's juicy seeing the Heat plus 115 right now. Yeah. And so now I'm going to put you on the spot, Jaevon, live here on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. When is the first edition of Vonnie's Hotline? The people need to hear the betting advice. So then dude, I was trying to pay my rent. You didn't even have it. And so now I can't pay my rent. I'm waiting on Vonnie's Hotline to start.
Kevin is people. I need it too.
I guess we started this week. So Hotline, it could be Heat money line. When's the next game? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
It's the 7th. Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. Heat money line. Vonnie's Hotline. Week 1. We could go for 1. We could go 1-0. So I'm rocking.
Oh, you got to pick the next one too, Von. Game 4, because we ain't gonna be here to give that one up. So what you got?
Getting the pin is out. Time to get the record for the Hotline.
I'll take the Heat. I'll take the Heat to win.
Kevin, you see this whole new sheet of paper? This is just for Vonnie's Hotline. We're gonna see how accurate the hotline is.
We'll take we can do 2 picks this week. So we'll take let me see what his over is. So we'll definitely take Heat money line plus 115. You can write that in there. I want to see
Stamp
what's
that.
Yeah, Garry. Yeah, go ahead and step that. I want to see what his over is in points really fast. We're checking that right now.
For who?
Jokic. Jokic
Butler?
is over.
Jokic?
29 for Jokic. I'm hammering the over on that.
Oh, we are hammering the over. Hammer. We're not being cautious. We're hammering it.
Yeah, they want him to have
bling it. Hotline bling that thing.
I am writing in all capital letters. That means it's serious.
Jimmy's points
Hammer.
is 25.
Jokic 29 points.
25 and a half. That's a lot, but he hasn't really been scoring as of late. Jamal Murray threes on the lookout.
So that's already 2. Are you gonna continue throwing out picks right now?
He's gonna give you the 3. He's gonna give you a little parlay real quick.
Give us a third. We need a decent parlay. This parlay needs to have some legs. No 2-legger. It needs to be 3 legs.
Jamal Murray is.
Let it be a tripod.
Jamal Murray is minus 1.
What's Jamal Murray? I bet you take Jamal's. He's not having back-to-back games now.
His I'm looking.
He didn't even play bad in game 2. It's like 18 points. Yeah, that's probably not what you wanted, but
I'm looking at threes. Jamal Murray
for this playoff run.
They want him to have 3.
I wish he played 18 points.
He had like 10. He had like 10 going in the 4th, and then he got a couple buckets there in the 4th.
His is 25 minus 122. I like.
All right, final call on the hotline. I know I put you on the spot here, but final call on the hotline.
I like Jamal Murray over in threes.
Okay, well, how many threes is the over under set at?
It's 2.5. So I want him to hit 3.
Yeah, that's easy money.
He gets them up though, so he shoots like 8 a game, 7 a game. So he hit 2 the first game, but he hit 3 this last game. So we love that.
You said it's plus 2.5.
Could have been 4 with that last shot. Could have been 4.
Yeah, it's 2.5 at minus 170.
Give me that. Yeah, I'm taking that.
So that parlay, I can't parlay it because I don't have FanDuel people.
People didn't want to legalize it. Yeah, I'm there with you, Jaevon.
So plus 115.
That's why we have that group chat with my cousin, is because FanDuel isn't legal in California. Is it legal in Oregon, Kevin?
Oh, yeah, just got legalized.
He's a beautiful man. Beautiful man.
Easy
Kev,
transactions.
you might as well put that parlay in and just kind of see what it looks like. Heat money line, Jokic over points, and we got Jamal Murray plus 2.5 minus 170. But if you parlayed it if you did Jokic and Jamal Murray, Jokic over in points, and then Jamal Murray in threes, that's plus 206. So $100 gets you it basically gives you $207.
Damn, Toddy said $100 gonna get you. Toddy
it's
2 to 1.
It's 2 to 1 odds basically.
Toddy said we going to Chicago
Double
5,
you
baby.
up.
Well, there you go. That is the
So we're
first
gonna double you
edition of Vonnie's Hotline. And now that we know you're officially going to be given the picks, I mean, we got to be ready for next week now. Like, we're going to come into this, and you're just going to take the torch and run with it, just like Kevin does with Factor Cap. I mean, you're going to take it, you're going to run with it.
Cap. I really like.
We're also going to get you some background music as well. So you and I we will talk about the instrumental. Kevin, I mean, I kind of on the spot, I kind of gave you the extra one that I had, but I think it's pretty good. The one that you got, it's called Freedom. I get them on freebeats.io.
Freedom.
I mean, it's super clutch. Anyways, just real quickly before we do move on, I just wanted to reiterate the picks that we all made last week. So Jaevon and I both have the Nuggets in 5. We'll see if that actually happens. And then Kevin has the Heat in 7. Gary has the Nuggets in 7. But Gary really
we didn't give
just
our
wants to
official
see it go
picks
7.
For game 3.
What do you think? What is it gonna be next time on this pod? I was gonna say I think after 4 games, I don't know if it's game 3 or 4, but I think it'd be tied up 2-2. And I think that it's going to be 3-2.
You can take those as straights, or you could parlay that. It depends on how you feel.
Maybe in New York, he could bet it right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to take 3-2. 3-2 Denver. Next Monday, we're back on the pod. Denver will be up 3-2.
Mm-hmm. Kevin, you did give us your pick after 4 games. Are you saying that Miami wins it in 5, or do you got it 3-2, Kevin?
3-2.
All right,
3-2.
3-2 Miami.
3-2
Miami. And Gary, was that? I'm sorry. Just repeat it one more
3-2
time.
Denver. 3-2
Okay.
Denver leads.
Okay. Jaevon, is the series over next Monday, or are you going 3-2 as well?
I'm going to say 3-2 Denver, probably.
He's just abandoning his pick.
Man,
he just gave up his whole pick.
I know.
We gotta start making graphics so we can hold them to it.
Yeah,
That
I
don't
know.
mean you pick down the drain.
Take the information from the notepad. Like, do you see the little checks? That means it's right, and X means no. Take the data from the notepad and then turn it into. I mean, we have the records. We have the records for Shaun's pop quiz. Kevin being at the top, very lonely at the top, and we could take this data and then we could turn it into graphics. So yeah, that'd be interesting. All right, cool.
Shaun, what you got?
What are you talking?
Is it
for
over?
me?
Is it over game? It should be over, right? For you?
Yeah. I ain't like Jaevon. I'm sticking with my pick, man. I'm sticking with my pick.
World on Monday.
3 straight. 3 straight for the Nuggets. Clip it. TikTok. Let's go. 3 straight for the Nuggets. Nuggets in 5. Nuggets in 5.
Remind me of the
stick
Suns
with
in
my
5
pick.
guy.
Suns in 4.
Oh, it was
exactly.
4. Okay, it was 4.
That boy made so much money.
So news of today is that free agent Kyrie Irving is recruiting LeBron James to Dallas. I mean, Gary, I know that you are also a big LeBron James fan, just like Kevin. And then Jaevon is our Kyrie Irving expert. So this will be interesting. I want to hear it from the Kyrie perspective first. Jaevon, what do you think about this story?
I was actually kind of shocked because I didn't expect Kyrie to want to come back. Thought he was LA bye-bye because he wants to go play with LeBron. I knew he wanted to play with LeBron, but I didn't know he wanted it this way. So it's kind of like, all right, big bro, it's been a long. We're getting the band back together. Let's come and team up. And LeBron's like, oh, you coming to LA? Nah, I'm in Dallas. And LeBron probably laughed and hung the phone up. I ain't going to Texas. So I just think LeBron's not leaving LA. His son's playing out there. Kids, school, pretty much everything is kind of set up out there. It wouldn't really make sense for him to go to Dallas. He could, but if you're kind of thinking about it from a fit perspective, LeBron has always been looking for a guy. I need a guy to take over for me from the night-to-night basis. I would assume, we just saw another report come out during the podcast. Mark Stein, Shaun said that he's not a big journalist. He's not that guy anymore.
No. I just don't put him on that top tier with Woj and Shams.
Run the clip, Kev. You can run.
But he's on the tier.
Run it.
But he
basically
not
said
on
that
the
top tier.
Kyrie wants to come back, and that's essentially what's going to happen. I'm paraphrasing that.
You know why?
As far as a fit perspective for Dallas, he's been looking for somebody to take over on a night-to-night basis. You got Luka, you got Kyrie. I mean, hey, LeBron could play 60 games, 50-some games, and just let the young bulls kind of handle it. Wouldn't necessarily call Kyrie a young bull. He's like 32, but I mean, he ain't 38. Yeah, he's not 38. But I don't know how that roster would be set up. It would kind of just be them three and anybody else. And then everybody
and no
else,
defense.
They would look a lot like how the Suns looked, pretty much. Just kind of hey, everybody, it says we'll get you 80. We can get you 80. And I would imagine that those three could get you 90, but we need a little bit of some from everybody else. I think Christian Wood is probably gone. Who else?
He's a free agent, so they'd have to sign and trade him.
Yeah, they'll have to sign and trade him. So I don't realistically see that happening, but that team would pretty much be them three and everybody else.
Kevin, what do you think?
Hey, man, look. Hey, man, they want to ride on the coattail. They want to go get a championship. Who do you call? You put the bat symbol in the sky, and, hey, he might come. He might come. If LeBron James goes to Dallas, I don't think it's going to happen. Like everyone mentioned, Bronny's starting his first year. He's going to stay in L.A. Everything's in L.A. He moved his family to L.A. This point of his career, is he really going to leave L.A.? It's really interesting, but I got to get the pod's reaction to this. So this trade works money-wise. Got to hear what you guys think. Tim Hardaway Jr., Reggie Bullock, Davis Bertans, Jaden Hardy, 2023 first-round pick, 10th overall, 2027 first-round pick for LeBron James.
No.
I'm sending dump over.
No.
No disrespect to those guys. But
Yeah, the Lakers probably don't say no. Then they can trade AD and get another haul.
That's literally like, okay, here's players 7 through 12 and our bottom 2 trade assets. Yeah,
well, the 10th pick is pretty high.
He didn't even put what's name in there.
The 10th pick.
Palinka is gonna ask for Luka Doncic, and Mark Cuban is gonna laugh and hang up the phone.
He said, "You want to keep Kyrie? It's good. I'm gonna need Luka."
So, Gary, what do you think about this whole LeBron, Kyrie to Dallas situation?
When I first seen this, I just think this is like the stir the pot situation. I'm a little confused. So, before I go into the financial situation, I'm like, wait, I thought Kyrie said don't listen to anyone who's talking about me. But then I'm not trying to discredit any of these people who are – Chris Haynes is a great reporter, so I'm not just going to discredit him for where he's getting his information from. So it's kind of like, first of all, I don't understand. First of all, the funniest part of this whole situation is that so Kyrie called LeBron, I guess they're saying, and told him to come here. So basically take a pay cut or a buyout, let me get my bag, and you take a cheaper bag to go play with. It's not just not adding up at all. So I don't even know why this even came out. I think this really was just an excuse, in my opinion. I don't know, I have no clue. It's just me guessing and reading tea leaves and just seeing how the NBA goes, that Kyrie is just saying, hey, guys, I tried to come here. Y'all couldn't bring Bron, so I'm going to go ahead that way with LeBron then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like he just wanted to say that, hey, I tried to bring him here. He's not coming here, and I want to go play with him, so I'm going to go play with him in L.A. So that's the first thing I kind of thought of, like maybe, people just trying to stir the pot to see them out. Second of all, I already mentioned that we talked about on the court. This is going to all offense, no defense type of team if this happens. No disrespect to those players, but we all know how LeBron's late in his prime, so he's not giving you a full 48 of defense anymore. And we already know about Kyrie and Luka's defensive abilities. We know the great masterminds of offense, but in basketball, as you can see, with the Heat and the Denver Nuggets, you got to play some defense in the playoffs. So it just don't really make sense to me at all, especially one thing I think came out on the report. I think they edited later. They said that they were trying to get LeBron this season, which makes no sense because LeBron couldn't get traded this season. Literally, he couldn't get traded. He signed a new extension. You can't get traded in your first-year extension. So that made no sense, really. I think it was a stir-the-pot situation just to get it out there, just to get some eyes rolling, maybe to get some clicks going maybe during the finals. I have no clue. But I just feel like this wouldn't work. Yeah, exactly. I just don't feel like this would work financially on the court-wise. I just don't think it'll work any which way other than Kyrie coming to the Lakers with LeBron, And I feel like even though Luka and LeBron would be cool, I just don't feel like Luka affects his own team. So
Yeah, Luka need 200. Kyrie need 200. LeBron need 200. That's 600 right there.
Hey, but at least Mark Cuban has that Shark Tank
Not
money
right.
from all his investments.
More than that.
I will. Yeah, I know.
He got that.
For sure.
Pocket change right there.
I have a theory, and this is kind of following up on what Garry was saying, but I think that Kyrie wanted to go to the Lakers, and someone in the Lakers front office that wasn't La GM, maybe a Rob Pelinka, probably not, probably a Jeannie Buss, likely said, Kyrie, we do not want you anywhere near our organization based on what we have seen over the last 5 or so years. No, thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you, but no, thank you. We don't want you here. And so Kyrie's like, well, where's the next best place for me to team up with Bron? Well, I mean, I'm already here with Luka, so might as well just get LeBron, maybe Draymond. Come on over to Dallas. Yeah, it ain't gonna work.
Draymond too.
I don't know if it was just bullshit from like one of the Ballsack Sports accounts, but I was scrolling through Twitter today and I saw a page, and I don't know if it was like verified or like Mark Stein. I was saying he's not that top tier, but he is a verified Big J journalist. I think that this could have just been from some random who created a Twitter account, but I saw something that said Draymond apparently would play for the veterans minimum in Dallas if he was with Kyrie, Luka, and LeBron.
Yes.
I mean, I think that might have been from just a random ass page, but it also could have some validity to it as well.
That'd be nuts.
No, yeah. If that team,
it's cool to see the pictures of them all in the same jersey, but
Why come back?
They need people to shoot though. They would need shooters. They got to round out the roster. I mean, you got
Dwight come back.
that all those guys are mega talented. I mean, Kyrie could shoot, but Luka's like I think it's like 30. It's like 37% from three, I believe. LeBron can't. Yeah,
hey, watch your mouth.
Hey, yeah.
Oh! See how quick he snapped at you?
He ain't knocked down, but I think he shot like 40% last year, so he shot pretty well last year. But he's not a guy that I'm like LeBron. Shoot 3, but yeah, man, that's like $600 million between 3 guys. So
you gave $600 million for 2 guys?
Oh, you know
yes,
we're getting that.
MCs. Yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, but
MCs.
We'll figure it out. I don't think it happens, but it's juicy for the offseason. It could happen, but LeBron would need to get traded, and LeBron's not getting traded, so.
Juicy
other juicy offseason news is that Bob Myers has decided to leave the Golden State Warriors.
Somebody said
Bob Myers.
Dynasty. I think it was Kevin that said that.
I mean, Bob Myers was the architect of the Warriors that we know them as.
I don't know,
maybe I'm wrong. Kevin, tell me why I'm wrong.
So let's keep it a buck. You know, he came in 2012. You already have the 2 light-skinned killers on the court. Let's talk about who Bob Myers has drafted. Draymond Green? Okay. Kevin Looney? Give it to him. Harrison Barnes? I love him. I know a lot of people out there might not.
I was about to say, Kev, don't be hating on AD.
This is where Kevin was going to throw some shade at Harrison Barnes.
He was.
No, I love HB. So then it's Jordan Poole. Think what you think.
A million times.
James Wiseman. Think what you think. Moses Moody and Patrick Baldwin. Those are the guys he's brought in.
And he signed Kevin Durant.
You know, he didn't go. It was the 3 of them and the coach that went to go in the hotel room. They left Bob back in the city. Bob just signed the checks.
Who was the general manager? Bob Myers.
Steph Curry.
Bob has been making it happen, though. And Bob has been making the maneuvers and connections happen. Making them have depth. You'd be having some Iguodala signing, Shaun Livingston back in the day. All those little extra tool pieces, I feel like he helped them, Kev. So
you're saying he helped?
I guess I'll.
Yo, they had Zaha Pachulia on the team, and he was almost an all-star.
They didn't start winning championships until Bob Myers was there, though. So Steve Kerr.
I feel like I'm gonna give Bob his
Didn't Bob get Steve
his
Kerr?
reasonable amount of credit. What happened?
I said, didn't Bob Myers hire Steve Kerr too?
Yes, sir, he did.
All right.
So Garry,
I'm gonna give him
his flowers. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give him his reasonable amount of credit because you talk about anyone in the organization, starting from Draymond Green. He says that he's one of the glue guys in this whole situation here. He talks to everyone from head down, and as watching the NBA closely, you do need your owner to GM to head coach to your all-star players to be lined up correctly and everyone be on the same page. And I feel like he's been one of the key cogs in that system to keep everything in line and in check. So I give him credit for that. Steph Curry even said it feels like it was a family member lost or some things of that nature. Like it was a big blow to our organization. So if the all-star players on their team are, speaking highly of him, so I'm assuming this was a great loss for them and their organization. So wishing Bob Myers the best. But like Kev mentioned, when the Warriors first lost, this is going to be a head-scratching offseason for the Warriors to see, first of all, what are they going to do at that GM position? I mean, I know I heard that they're going to probably do it by committee, but as well as what moves they're going to make, who are they going to pay? Are they going to pay Draymond? Are they going to, trade Poole? Like, what are they going to do in that situation? How are they going to rebuild this team around Curry to get him more chances at the NBA Finals and more rings? So I feel like this is going to be a big step for the Warriors to see how many chances they got at more rings. So it's going to be a big eye-opening situation to watch out for.
It seems like to me that I'm the one on this panel that believes that this is the biggest deal. At least among the four of us, because to me, this is huge because we're already seeing the cracks within the Warriors now. Like, did either of you, Jaevon or Kevin, did either of you see? Okay, so Kevin's shaking his head, yes. Jaevon, did you see the clip of Draymond Green having Steve Kerr on his podcast after the NBA Finals?
Like after the game?
After game 2, I believe.
Oh no, I did not see it.
So they were doing a lot of breaking down of the game, very good stuff. And it's two great basketball minds. I always say how I look forward to Draymond's post career as an analyst of the game because I think he's great at it. And over the course of the conversation, Steve Kerr started to talk about how, oh man, there's guys on the Heat like a Duncan Robinson who doesn't play for 3-4 weeks and he falls out of the rotation. And they also have other guys like a Strus who hardly plays sometimes, Caleb Martin, Cody Zeller. There's so many unselfish guys on the Miami Heat who know their roles and they play it. And he's saying there's not any guys on that team that are talking about or complaining about not getting playing time, this and that. And he's basically taking subtle shots at Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kuminga, and probably at a lesser extent, Moses Moody. Yeah, so there's already cracks in the foundation. And since Bob Myers has stepped away just in the last week, I feel like the Band-Aid is already starting to come off and that we're just going to see it start to crumble. I don't know. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but that's why I think that this news is very significant for the future of the Warriors. Like, to me, I will say the dynasty is done. I think the dynasty is done. I think that they were good last year. They had their one last run to kind of put the cherry on the top, no longer with Kevin Durant, that they could still do it. But to me, I feel like this is substantial news. Anyone have any other final thoughts before we move on to any other?
I think Steve Kerr he's like a sleeper that could definitely be the GM. I mean, he's a guy that's been in the front office before with Phoenix, I believe, when Steve Nash was there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of just be like, hey, do you want to, kind of take over here? Or they kind of just keep it in-house and be like, we got our guy.
That could be trade for Ty Lue.
Yeah. And then we trade for Ty Lue. But I don't know. We'll see how it works out. But I don't know if it's the end of the dynasty. I still think Draymond, Steph, and Clay retire Warriors. So I think they kind of keep those three together, and anybody else is for fair game. So I think Jordan Poole's probably gone after this year because they always try to rebrand pretty easily. Like we kind of saw how, after that run that they had with Kevin Durant, they kind of took like 2 years off, and then all of a sudden they're back in the finals and they won a championship. So don't be surprised if the Warriors do pivot pretty quickly.
Yeah, we shall see. And so now I just want to get to a couple. Garry, if you wanted to say something, you have to unmute yourself. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I know I was trying to. It was not working.
You went like that. You put your finger up to talk, but then you muted yourself at the same time. I'm like, which one do you want?
It wasn't working. I'm like, oh my god. And I was just gonna say, like, back to I already put my statement out there when we first asked this question. Shaun is sticking on his ledge of they're done the dynasty. As long as they got Curry, I don't know if they can win another championship, but I still think they'll be knocking out the door of it. So just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, but with a franchise like this, they have set the bar so high that now they're at the point where, just like the Celtics, just like the Lakers, if you don't win a championship, it's a disappointing season. I mean,
it's disappointing because if Curry's on the team, but you put in the Celtics in Celtics and the Lakers.
They're not in the 17. 18? They're not in the 17 championship zone.
Yeah,
but
I'm talking about that legacy like that.
for the last.
It reminds me of some guy I actually met at the bar talking like this. He was talking like that too, talking about how the Warriors are like the Celtics and the Lakers. I'm like, bro, y'all's been good for the last 10 years. Props to you, credit. I'm like, you guys did great. You guys are a top-notch team, but you guys are not on those two levels. Those are teams who
D'Lo and KC was
the 80s and 70s who have complete longevity.
Yeah.
So if they're doing for another 10, 20 plus, okay, then we're going to talk.
Yeah, they were saying, shout out to D'Lo and KC. They were talking about, they were saying like the Warriors were new money compared to like all the old franchises, like the Celtics, the Lakers, who've been doing this, Bill Russell, and Wilt. So, I'm just, curious to see what they do. Do they go after a new GM? Do they get, try to get somebody, or they just keep it in-house?
It'll be interesting to see for sure as you guys are all tuned into episode number 32 of Stats Over Politics. I just want to get to a couple of the YouTube comments real quick as Sister Alex is tapping in saying Duncan went off in the fourth. Yes, he was absolutely on fire. And my guy Trey tapping in saying, saw this was live as I was heading to crash for the night, but he's excited to listen tomorrow at work. And he mentioned it was a great comeback win for the Sky over the Liberty, thanks to Courtney Williams. Yes, my favorite WNBA
I thought they
team.
lost. They were favorites in that game. You can bet on WNBA.
They were up by
Shaun's
like
hotline?
17 points. They were up by 17 points, and the Liberty lost that game. It was crazy, but I'll just say real quickly because of Trey's comment. I started a WNBA podcast last week called WNBA Social. I hope everyone can check it out.
Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff.
Please do. We appreciate you for tapping in with all of our content.
What's
so
that?
now, guys,
what day is it? Every day you said?
I don't know. I was thinking like that it would come. I would record every Tuesday night, have it come out on Wednesdays, like WNBA Wednesdays. But then also the WNBA schedule is kind of funky. Yeah, exactly. And the WNBA schedule is kind of funky though, like where they'll have like a bunch of games on a Tuesday and then they'll be off like no games at all for like 3-4 straight days. So I might plan it around just when the games happen, and I don't know. We'll see. It's TBD, but I started. The first episode is out. Go check it out. WNBA Social. If you are interested.
Go make Shaun rich.
Women's National Basketball Association. Appreciate you guys. All right, guys. Now let's get to the NBA, and that is the news that the Pistons have hired Monty Williams. And as Jaevon is showing everyone on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, Monty Williams got paid a lot.
That bag was a lot different in Detroit.
Money. Oh, man. They had to convince him to come to Detroit, and they did so by giving him the biggest coaching contract in NBA history. 6 years, $78.5 million. And he will also have former Rockets head coach Steven Silas joining his staff in Detroit.
Good assistant.
That is a good assistant. So what do you think about this move overall for Detroit and also for Monty Williams, Jaevon?
I thought I was kind of surprised by it. I was not expecting him to go to Detroit at all. I thought, not Phoenix. I thought he was going to either get the Bucks job. I was thinking that. I was thinking Sixers was kind of where he would be at because he's been dealing with stars pretty much. But I kind of like it. Cade is an up and coming. A lot of people are going to forget about Cade, and yes, he was hurt all last year.
Who?
Cade is an early Bonnie's hotline for comeback player of the year. I don't know what the odds are on
Cade
that.
Coming in. Let's give him his full name out there.
Yes, Cade Cunningham. He's somebody I look at for comeback player of the year for sure. But I think Monty Williams is going to bring the best out of him for sure.
Real quickly, I just need to ask, is that something that is written in pencil on the note sheet? Or
pencil
in
for
pen?
sure.
Okay.
Okay. Pencil for sure. But
I'll wait then. I'll wait. I don't have a pencil close to me. I'll wait. Please proceed.
There probably aren't any odds out for comeback player of the year for next year anyway. So it's kind of like I would want to kind of look at what the odds would look like. But he's somebody I would definitely keep my eye on.
Noted.
But you kind of look at this roster. They're very young, obviously. You have Cade there, former number 1 overall pick. You got Jaden Ivey, who Kevin wanted him to be on the Kings, by the way. You're muted, by the way. Can't hear you. But I
want to shade a shark. Just have to throw that out there, make sure it was corrected.
He was somebody that was in the stratosphere. But you kind of look at that roster and you're like, you got Bogdanovich, you got a Jalen Duran.
You got our guy Bags.
You got
Yo guy Bags.
What's dude's name that tried to fight LeBron with the bloody eye? Isaiah Stewart. Yeah. So young roster. We'll see.
That's his career highlight.
Trying to fight LeBron with the bloody eye. But I would like to see what they look like. They're a very young team. You would want to see Cade has to kind of ascend in a way, but that East Coast kind of like that, that 8, 9, 10 is kind of like up for grabs. So it's kind of like anybody could be in it. Don't be surprised if we see the Pistons in the play-in next year because of Monty Williams. But I like this hire for sure. I think that it'll just give Detroit some more stuff to build off of, and they get their top 5 pick this year. 5 picks.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, I think they are number 5 because they had the odds to potentially be in that top 3, but then they fell all the way to 5.
Yeah, so maybe they use that pick. Maybe they trade that pick away, get a player. So and now you're cooking with hot grease. So I like this hire by the Pistons for sure.
Kevin, what do you think about this hire? I mean, is this more so? I mean, it's to me. I'll just say real quickly. I think it's a great hire for the Pistons, without a doubt. Monty Williams is a great coach, but is it really going to be a great fit long term? Did Monty Williams just go here chasing the bag?
I absolutely love this hire. This is going to be a hire that could honestly change the blueprint of the forefront of the Detroit Pistons. Mm-hmm. A lot of people forgot. The Phoenix Suns were coming off a 17-win season when Monty came aboard, just like the Pistons. But the one thing about that team, Devin Booker was there. Like Toddy mentioned, is Cade Cunningham going to be able to be that foundation piece? In 76 regular season games, he's averaging 18 points, 6 boards, and 7 assists. So if he can put together a healthy season, Cade Cunningham could be, like Toddy said, comeback player of the year. We saw that they traded for guys. They traded for guys like James Wiseman. They have Jalen Duran. Killian Hayes finally had his outcoming season in his 3rd year. They have guys like Bogdanovich, like Toddy said, and they drafted Jalen Duran and Jaden Ivey. So this team is really going to have a good foundational piece. They don't have a franchise player. So they said, Monty, you're the franchise. You get all the money. We don't got no one to pay here. We got a bunch of young guys. Let's give it to you. Let's give you this chance to kind of reconform this team and take us to new levels that we couldn't see. And I definitely believe in 2-3 seasons, we might be looking at this team like a young Oklahoma City Thunder team. So I definitely love this hire, and I think Monty's going to do great things. So TikTok, I'm here for it.
Kept going on TikTok.
So, Garry, what do you think about this team? Because, I like to call them the land of lost toys or the land of lost picks for all the former lottery picks that have found their that's a throwback right there. Yeah. But, I mean, Garry, you were mentioning our favorite former Sacramento King, Marvin Bagley. So, I mean, what do you think about this situation that we got in Detroit?
To the viewers real quick, I know you see me dying here. Don't worry, we're thugging it out still. I know people always see me keep coughing like crazy. Anyways, I just wanted to say I think this is a great hire. Exactly. I think Kev put it on the nail. You guys hit it all on the nail. There's really much to say. I was going to bring up the Suns, how I think Monty Williams is a great foundational coach who can build a foundation for your team. And I also feel like he's a coach that can, raise the higher just raise everything to a higher level, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like he's a great hire for this team. I feel like he shouldn't even been let go of the Suns, but nowadays teams got to do what they got to do for the organization. But I think you guys hit it on the nail. I feel like he's going to be a good hire, and he's a great guy around the league. So feel like it's going to work out for the Pistons. All depends what they do going forward with that roster.
Monty Williams, former Phoenix Suns head coach, new Phoenix Suns head coach, former Lakers coach, Frank Vogel also coached as well with the Magic and the Pacers.
Championship coach.
NBA champion Frank Vogel. Thank you very much, Jaevon. So the Suns have now hired Frank Vogel. I mean, what do you think about that champion, Jaevon?
What do I think about that champion? I think he's, he's a guy dealt with stars before. He's been, he was with Paul George early in his years at Indiana. So you think about all those Eastern Conference battles that they have with LeBron, D-Wade, Chris Bosh, Ray Allen, all those guys. So Frank Vogel's a guy I think who can coach in this league. He's a defensive presence, so I don't know how much that will kind of translate to the current team that he's at right now, just based off of the roster. But he's going to a team. He's inheriting Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and maybe Chris Paul. We don't know where he's going to be, but I think this was a solid hire. Vogel was just one of those guys that was in rotation, not in the league, but he's won a championship and kind of took a year off, I guess. But I thought this was a very solid hire. And we'll see pretty much how it works out and how he adjusts in Phoenix and can they win a championship. I mean, that's the reason why they brought Kevin Durant along. They got a new owner. This is the owner's guy. The owner hired this guy, and so it's kind of like, all right, last year was kind of a trial year. I kind of came in mid-season. I got us Kevin Durant, and that's kind of we'll figure it out as we go. But now it's like, all right, I just hired my own coach, and we'll kind of start hitting the ball rolling there.
Kevin, you really love the Pistons hiring Monty Williams. Now the Suns are trying to replace Monty Williams. Is Frank Vogel the solution here?
Unfortunately, man, I gave Frank a lot of slander, as a time as a Laker. But I feel like he got a lot of undeserved hate. Out of the 10 full seasons he played, or coach, besides the 11, he got the 11th season being the Lakers where he got fired midway through. 7 of those 10 seasons, they finished with top 10 defenses. Like Toddy mentioned, those young Pacers teams. He's got to play with bigs like Roy Hibbert, Dwight Howard, Anthony Davis, JaVale McGee. Can we turn DeAndre Ayton into one of those pieces, or is he gonna have to be someone that goes? He had a lot of hand slander with the Lakers. They made a rush trade that really cut their depth. AD and LeBron couldn't stay healthy. So there's a lot of things that you go there. Like everyone has to be a point man. Someone has to go, and they chose Frank to go. But like Toddy mentioned, you're starting with a foundation of Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. That's a hell of a foundation, and they're great wing defenders. So if you can get that team to buy in, I think it's a more of a, what do they do with, like I mentioned, DeAndre and Chris Paul. So Frank Vogel is in a good spot right now, and his future is looking bright with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. But those other two guys are big pieces, and you can trade them and kind of get some of that depth and get those wing players. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do down in Phoenix.
Yeah, Gary, it's really going to be interesting because when Kevin mentioned DeAndre Ayton, I said he gone. But then I actually realized right after I said it that DeAndre Ayton really had beef with Monty Williams. For whatever reason, he had beef with Monty Williams. Monty Williams is gone. So do you think that DeAndre Ayton could work out in Phoenix with Frank Vogel now, Gary?
I think this can be good for the Suns if they can keep DeAndre Ayton happy and make it work out. I feel like he's still a good player in this league. He's just young, so I feel like he's just going to hopefully get taught by Frank Vogel and just gain more repetition with these Denver Nuggets. Well, I meant to say with Durant and Booker. So, I mean, Vogel, I feel like you guys already mentioned, it's like Vaughn mentioned, all depends how the roster is constructed if you're going to be able to play defense, because you could teach defense all you want, but if you don't got defensive guys, it's going to be pretty tough. You know what I'm saying? You can teach a system and you can make maybe guys elevate the level, but you still need some defensive guys in the team. Good thing is that this team wants to win a championship, so obviously they know that's going to be part of the equation. Again, to Kev's point, I feel like he got a short end of the stick in Lakerville, so I feel like him just learning what he learned from there and, just wanting to have a chip on his shoulder and probably prove some things wrong that he shouldn't have been let go. I feel like it's going to be a good spot for him to be able to prove that he can work out with Durant and Book as well. So I feel like it's a good hire for them. I feel like it's going to up their level of intensity, especially on the defense. And offensively, obviously they don't want to play a 2-man game the whole time just to get a one-on-one with Book and KD. But hey, I think I seen a stat again on SportsCenter. I think they're top 4, top 2, top 2.
No, that's the second stat for Garry today. That's what he was saying.
You're on fire.
I'm trying to make sure Kev verifies my stat, but he's I think top 4 in duos combined scoring in the playoffs. So hey, yeah, go ahead, keep pushing, y'all. I gotta keep it short.
Let Garry go.
I'm sorry. Garry is dealing with allergies, as we noted earlier.
Flu game.
It is the flu game for Garry, and we appreciate Garry for being here through his allergies. And like I said, I totally know how that is. It fucking sucks. Garry, I was going to throw it right back to you for this next topic and our final head coaching topic. We can take it back around. We don't have to go right back to you, Garry. Get some water and get some water, take some breath. And so, yeah, we'll take a lap around.
I need a 5-minute break, you guys.
Yeah, we're good. So we'll just continue with the order that we were going in for the other 2 head coaching topics. And this last one is the only vacant head coaching position so far that is still available in the NBA. And that is the Toronto Raptors. The one job in Canada is the one job open in the NBA right now. So, Jaevon, what do you think about this Raptors job? Are there any candidates that stick out to you that would be good fits?
Not necessarily. I think we might see a guy that's probably an assistant that probably might get this job. That's kind of
like a Jordy Fernandez from the Sacramento Kings, perhaps?
It's highly possible. I think just the uncertainty around this roster. We kind of saw trade deadline. They kind of fronted like everyone's for sale and just, we could get that. OG Anunoby, 3 first-round picks. I don't know why people thought he was worth 3. I still don't think he's worth that.
Hell no.
But I'm just thinking, Fred VanVleet, I think he's a free agent this year. There's a couple of other guys on there. Pascal's need some money coming up. We got Scotty Barnes. It's kind of like the young guy that a lot of people are, aspiring that he's going to be the guy of the team. And it's just, a lot of uncertainty. We don't know if people are going to get traded. Is OG going to get traded? Don't really know what the roster is going to look like going into, October, whenever the season starts. So this team could be totally different by the time we look at them. So I think maybe a lot of guys are kind of just waiting to see maybe by the summer to see like how this roster is constrained, or they bring a guy in and they kind of go over with the GM. Maybe after the draft, we'll see what this roster might look like a little bit going into next year. But I think it's based off of what this roster will look like going into the season next year. And we don't know if it's going to be the same. I think that's kind of what's holding up a coaching hire.
That is a good point that I didn't really think about. And Kevin, the Raptors seem like they have interviewed every single candidate that is out there. They have even interviewed, you just read my mind, Jaevon. They even interviewed JJ Redick, who is now not only a podcaster, but he is also an NBA analyst for ESPN and commentator. So they are interviewing everyone. I mentioned, Kevin, earlier, Jordy Fernandez, Sacramento Kings assistant coach, has been interviewed by them. Is there any candidates that stick out to you for this Raptors job?
You guys read my mind. I think Jordan Fernandez is the perfect person to come in here and, really build this culture. Like Toddy mentioned, we don't know what the roster is going to look like. They can lose guys like Fred VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, Gary Trent, Jakob Poeltl, OG Anunoby, Are you going to tear this down and build around Scotty, coming off as a sophomore slump, his rookie of the year? So we had a lot of good things. But I really compare this job to Houston with Steven Silas. Going in, you think you have this roster and you blink and everyone's on the way out. So like Toddy mentioned, it's gotta depend on what the roster looks like. They're in no rush. This isn't one of the top destinations, so they can take their time and kind of really make the right decision and either commit to all in or we're gonna start the rebuild.
All right, Garry, we have completed our lap. Do you have anything that you would like to add about the Raptors job?
To be honest, I don't really know who got interviewed. I didn't really see that list.
Everyone and their mama.
JJ Redick.
So I would say maybe they do a flipperoo and get Budenholzer out there, flipping with the Bucks, and they did, and boom. So I don't know. I can see him as a good guy fitting up there. I think the Raptors job is pretty nice because Masai Ujiri is a great GM that everyone clamors to, and their team fights hard and puts the right team around them. So I feel like a lot of people do kind of like living in Toronto now. Even though I know it's another
great.
country and things of that nature, I feel like they do like going. It's a nice city to live in. So I feel like that job is a great job. I feel like they got a lot of young talent. And I know you guys mentioned a lot of people could leave and it could look way different next year. But I feel like if I'm a coach, I would want to work for the organization just because of them winning a championship not too in the distant past and what they got going on and how the culture is kind of already built in terms of winning. So
the one head coach who has championship experience that I am confident that the Toronto Raptors will not be hiring is Doc Rivers. The reason why I'm confident in that is because his top assistant that he has had in numerous stops, Sam Cassell, was hired as an assistant coach for this upcoming season with the Boston Celtics, heading back to Boston where he previously served. He played in Boston on that 08 team, right, Jaevon? And then he also served as an assistant on the Celtics as well. And so now he returns to Boston. And that kind of signals to me that Doc Rivers is going to take a year off from the NBA and just get the best job that's available next year, most likely. So, Jaevon, you had a big old grin when we brought this topic up because this is your squad. So what do you think about Joe Mazzulla adding Sam Cassell to his staff?
Obviously, I think it's a great hire. Sam Cassell is obviously a former player, so he's pretty much, he's a guy's guy. He could be in there, get in there with those young guys and JT and JB and kind of, reel them in a little bit. That was a wild game 7 that we had, and we just need a veteran presence in there because Joe Mazzulla is fairly young as a head coach. I think he's one of the youngest in the league, if I'm not mistaken. So it gives him a veteran presence. I think Sam Cassell is a guy who's been there. Obviously, he's played in Boston, coached in Boston before, so he's familiar with the system. And I think this is a great hire by my Boston Celtics.
Let me just correct one thing that I said incorrectly. He actually hasn't coached in Boston before. He finished his career in Boston, retired in 2009, but he had previous stops with the Washington Wizards, Los Angeles Clippers with Doc, and then Philadelphia 76ers as well. So this is his first time that he's going to be coaching in Boston, which is cool for him. So, Kevin, what do you think about this move as the Celtics add a veteran assistant coach to a guy's staff that's not very experienced himself, at least in the big chair?
I love it. At the beginning of the season, with the Ime stuff, and then with Will Hardy leaving, they kind of had to scrap together a assistant staff, and they really didn't have time to put it in together and really nurture the staff. And with all these young guys, you really got to have stability, and they didn't have that. And Sam Cassell come in and has that. Toddy mentioned he's a former player, and a lot of people might not know of Sam Cassell's game, but I remember seeing him with a Clippers jersey, serving guys, getting buckets, playing defense, ball head, and everything. So I think he's going to bring a lot of experience to this team, and on the defensive end especially, that's really what they need. And Toddy mentioned, him being able to nurture guys like Jason Tatum, and he said Jaylen Brown, but he might not be there, so we shouldn't put the 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, Sam Cassell
that was a good kicker right there. Go ahead, Jaevon.
Sam Cassell is notoriously known for the ball sack celebration that he does. Whenever he hits like a big shot, he always does that. We always see Klay Thompson do that a lot. So shout out to Sam Cassell. We might be seeing that a little bit next year. So be on the lookout for that, Selly.
Jason Tatum is going to pull out the ball sack celebration next season. Garry, what do you think about this move?
I'm just preaching to the choir here. You guys said everything on the money. I feel like he has a great reputation in the league. He brings a veteran presence and leadership. So I feel like he's going to bring, like you guys said, stability for the Boston Celtics organization. And hey, he's a coach that's wanted and needed. And so that's all you want as a player. That's you want to bring a guy in that everyone wants and needs. And he has a great reputation around the league. So I think everything's looking up and up for the Boston Celtics with this move.
I'm just wondering when Sam Cassell is going to finally get an opportunity to be a head coach. Yeah, because he went from a 17-year NBA playing career to going immediately, not even taking a year off. He went immediately into being an assistant coach, and he's been an assistant coach since 2009. He now has like 15 years almost of assistant coaching experience. To me, he should be one of those next guys up to be.
If Joe start fucking up again,
crack the gates open.
He could be one of those guys.
Jaevon, I'm glad that you were the one to say it and not me, because to me that was the biggest thing that I thought about this hiring
when the move was
Play
made.
around, Joe, if you want to.
If Joe wants to fuck around and find out, Sam Cassell is right there in the second spot, just waiting for his first opportunity. And I would imagine that he would absolutely love to get that first opportunity with the Boston Celtics.
Aren't they locked in? I'm pretty sure they're locked in together. I feel like.
No.
I think they played together. I feel like they played together before. I think something they might have played together in the league prior to. So I feel like
not that I know of, but that could be interesting.
No, if you didn't, I'm just saying, just I don't know. I just feel like looking behind your neck. I know you guys are like saying looking back is. I don't feel like that's a good thing you want to bring to a championship organization. So I don't feel like that situation is festering there. Especially, I don't know if you want to move 4 coaches in 4 years, Mo. Would that be happening? I don't know. That just wouldn't be a smart move. I feel like I don't think that's happening. But hey, Shaun, go ahead, stir it up the pot.
Oh, I will continue to stir it all off season. So, guys, as we continue here on episode number 32 of Stats Over Politics, Shaun Holko alongside Jaevon Toddy, Kevin Dent, Garry Singh. So, as I say so again, we now transition from the NBA to the NFL. We didn't have any NFL topics until this morning when this news popped up, and we're still waiting on Garry to propose some wagers for week 1. But Brock Purdy will be fully cleared for play around August 21st, which is about 20 days prior to the start of the season, and he is expected to start week 1 after making a full recovery from his UCL surgery, per Matt Mayoko of NBC Sports.
He must be high level for Shaun to give him a shout out and on the ticker, huh? That's like Matt.
Because he's like the
Mayoko.
guy. He's like the dude.
Exactly. Yeah. Like Matt Mayoko is the guy for the 49ers. He has.
Oh, that's why you're sucking him.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't.
My bad. I'm messing with you, Shaun. I'm messing with you. As a Niner fan, as a Niner fan, you like your Niner guys. I know.
All teams got their guy. Like Kev, who's the Eagles reporter? You probably know who it is.
Kevin Dent.
Gary, do you guys?
Shaun, I'm just kidding. A little banter, bro. Just a little banter.
I couldn't tell you, Tyler.
Do the Steelers got like a certain reporter that y'all got to go to?
No, man.
If there is, Gary's probably sucking them.
Hey, I would follow him and everything.
Hey, man, you ain't never tell a lie. Hey, man, that's what Garry looks.
Gary is hilarious, bro.
Gary, I had a blank face. You kept saying like, Shaun, I'm just kidding. I know you're kidding, Gary. It's okay, but I mean, I'm still gonna make you realize that.
Putting the league on notice, man. Putting the league on notice.
Anyways, I'm going to go back to not crediting people because apparently when I do explicit
things. Did you credit the other guy that you said is not top tier? What's his name?
The reason why he said
Mark Stein, he didn't credit him. That's what I'm saying. I said he's crediting the Niner guy, but he don't want to credit the NBA guy. All right.
It's because the point was from a previous episode is that like I'm looking to Woj and Shams for like the top tier news. If one of them doesn't say it, then I don't believe it. Because we were talking about some topic, and I was just like,
young guys.
Mark Stein is one of the oldest ones.
Okay, not young guys, but the under guys.
Anyways, Brock Purdy,
all right, Shaun,
he will be fully cleared. I mean, Gary, what do you think?
Why are we talking about the shitty Niners? Oh my God.
Yeah, we're shitty.
That's all I'm thinking, Kev. Why are we talking about
That's Gary's take.
That's my take. Fuck Brock Purdy. What are we talking about Purdy for right now?
Mr. What, Gary? What they call him, Mr.
I'm sipping on the hater. I got some hater right here. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to talk about the Niners on a. What is this?
All right.
Prime time June NBA Finals. Brock
we
Purdy's
already talked about
legend.
the NBA Finals.
Oh, God. All right.
So
the pod's done. We're gonna hit Shaun's pop quiz, hit Kev's cap, and no factor cap, and boom, pod's done. We don't need to talk about that. I'm glad you're cleared, buddy. I'm glad you're cleared, buddy, old pal. I would hope you would be cleared. It took forever. Go ahead. I'm done.
Gary seems pretty hot and bothered right now. So, anyways, we got Gary's analysis on the Brock Purdy topic. Kevin, I mean, I would assume that you feel similar, but you may have a little bit more analysis for us on this one.
Hey man, I'm happy he's back. I want him to come in to Link and kind of get the shivels, man. He going, ooh, I want Purdy to come back to the Link because I'm telling you, he wake up in cold sweat. All he thinks is sound ready, boom, and he wake up. Sound ready. Hey man, I'm ready. I'm happy. Get it 12 weeks in, get the leg, get the elbow nice and warm, and it's gonna happen. Hey man, I'm ready for it. I'm happy Purdy's back, man. I'm happy Purdy is back. Cannot wait.
Despite it being June,
no excuses, right, Shaun?
Excuses. Despite this being June 5th, if this was Shaun and Vaughn, we'd probably talk about this for like 30 to 45 minutes. But out of respect for Kevin and Garry, we'll stick to 5. What do you think about this topic, Jaevon?
I think it's significant. I think it has something to say about the other 2 quarterbacks that are healthy and in OTAs right now, saying that hey, it don't matter what the hell goes on in these OTAs who's taking first team reps. Purdy's the guy when he comes back, whenever he's ready. It seems that, his rehab is going pretty well. He's been throwing. I think he's only been throwing a Nerf ball to my knowledge, but he's pretty much getting back in the swing of things. And from what I've just been taking, you've been seeing him kind of a lot in the NFL draft. They were kind of featuring him like, hey, I was the last pick in the draft. Don't let whatever you get picked stop you from being who you want to be. And he's on Buffalo. You got Buffalo Wild Wings. You're kind of just seeing him a lot. It doesn't sound like a guy who's a backup quarterback that's going to be, not really involved in things. So I think it's good. It was good for the 49ers. We saw what he was able to do.
Johnny Manziel
go undefeated.
A lot of commercials.
He's not Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel never won the NFC Championship game, but that's okay.
Dagger in the heart.
But I'm ready to see if he's ready to go week 1. I don't know if he'll be playing in preseason games because I'll probably still. I want to see what he looks like in preseason a little bit. Just get in the swing of things with the guys. The offense. Make sure we got everything, all cylinders clicking, and probably we'll get his full season of Brock Purdy. But hey, he's still got to beat out Trey Lance, and it's looking like he's probably going to do that just based off of what I've been hearing from him in OTAs.
From the Nerf ball.
But we'll see. We'll see. And I think he's on schedule to come back. So I'm excited.
So, Garry, to answer your question as to why it's June 5th and we're talking about this and it is relevant, is because, to me, Brock Purdy isn't the week 1 starter. He needs to earn the job. He needs to earn it not only from Trey Lance, he even needs to earn it from Sam Darnold.
Vaughn sounds like he's handing him the job.
I'm not. I am Shaun. That is Vaughn. That is Vaughn. And I
you disagree with the fellow Niner. Okay.
I do. I mean, we are a part of the same fandom, but it doesn't mean that we always agree, Garry. But anyways, the point is that this is great news because I want Trey, I want Brock, even fucking Sam to all
beat out
have
Brock last year.
The best opportunity. He sure did.
Wow.
I just want whoever the starting quarterback to be, because Garry and Kevin, as much as you clown our quarterback situation, like, we're in a lot better spot than a lot of teams are, and a lot of teams would love to be where we're at, where we almost have an embarrassment of riches. I wouldn't say riches, embarrassment of options is what we could say.
Thank you for redoing the sentence.
TikTok.
The point is that I want both players. I'm just going to exclude Sam Darnold. I want both players to have an equal shot at winning the job, and may the best man win. If neither guy is injured, then they can truly do that.
Yeah.
And so that's why this is a big deal to me, that he could potentially be able to be fully cleared to play August 21st, Garry, because then that gives him a chance. He may not play in the preseason, but if they can see what they need to see in training camp and throughout the preseason, just in practice, that's all I ask. And so I'm happy. Any other thoughts about this amazing topic? Please. More analysis. Bring it. Okay.
I want to take my fuck you away to Brock Purdy. It was nothing against you,
so
Brock.
nice.
It's just a haterade I wanted to throw on these two right quick. But
we'll play him week 1.
Last hating statement I have here is I'm looking at ESPN.com, right, Kev? I'm on this app. I'm looking like the first 30 topics. You can press news, the first 30 topics. I don't see Brock Purdy anywhere near this thing, man. I see Cowboys. I see Texans, Colts.
He'll be on there tomorrow.
I even see Jordan Love on here. I don't see no Brock Purdy. Just, I'm glad the guy's throwing a Nerf ball around. I'm glad he's doing that. I'm glad he's ready to go.
I cannot wait for tomorrow when on every ESPN show they're gonna have a Brock Purdy topic. I guarantee it. Yeah. I'll pull out the Chuck. Guarantee.
I think it just came out too, so before like all the shows had it, so that came out like later in the day, so it'll probably be on all the shows tomorrow.
So we're on top of it first here on Stats Over Politics, Gary. We don't wait for the mainstream.
They watch our show.
They watch our show for topics. Exactly, Jaevon. Thank you very much. As you guys are all tuned into episode number 32 of Stats Over Politics, I'm Shaun Holko alongside Jaevon Toddy, Kevin Dent, Garry Singh. And I just want to ask everyone, if you're enjoying the show, please give us a like on YouTube. It really helps us grow. And if you enjoy the show, hit subscribe to get notifications when we go live. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Stats Over Politics and on Twitter at Stats or Politics. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on all podcast platforms. If you're enjoying the show, give us 5 stars. We would really appreciate it. Well, I mean, Garry, you already basically said what is next, as I played the wrong music. Bad producing.
80 subscribers, fellas. We're on the way.
80 subscribers. We appreciate all 80 of you. Thank you so much. As now, everyone who has tuned in for the previous 31 episodes of Stats Over Politics knows that this music means, come on, Garry.
It means Kevin's about to win. That's what it means.
I ain't got rhythm like that.
Bro, Garry's just been hilarious this whole episode, bro. I'm telling
you. Sick
the
games,
allergies,
flu games,
the allergies got Garry on one. Oh my God. All right. So as we continue, we got another episode or another edition of Shaun's Pop Quiz. This is NBA Finals edition. Probably part 1, but right now there hasn't been a part 2, so this is just NBA Finals edition of Shaun's Pop Quiz. Before we get to the questions, because I actually have 4 this week, I wanted to ask all of you, because you've been saying, oh, someone's getting an easy question, this and that. So the question is, should I just read off the question and let you guys all have a free-for-all, or should we continue with everyone having their own individual questions?
It's going to be chaos. It's going to be chaos.
Yeah, it's going to be chaos, but I do feel like I said last week.
That 4th one, though, is up for grabs.
I feel like we should start from just like the lottery, from the bottom of the barrel, me. And go
all right, Mr. Bottom of the Barrel, Garry, with 10 points. Garry has 10 points after 31 episodes. Jaevon has 11, and Kevin has 17. So we shall see if Garry can get himself into second place today. So, Garry, we're going to kick things off with you as the bottom feeder. Here is your question. Nikola Jokic joined this person as the only player to lead their team in points, rebounds, assists, and blocks entering the NBA Finals since 1974. Sounds like Jaevon knew it. I got you, Jaevon, if you want to steal it, but this is Garry's question. I'll read it one more time for our audio-only listeners. Nikola Jokic joined this person as the only players to lead their team in points, rebounds, assists, and blocks entering the NBA Finals. They're the only 2 players to do it since 1974. Garry, do you have a guess of who that other player is?
Mr. Wilt Chamberlain?
That is incorrect.
Ooh.
Jaevon, you had your finger up first for the steal if you wanted to try and steal this one. Do you have a guess, Jaevon?
Is it Kareem?
That is also incorrect. Not Kareem.
That was my
Kevin, do you have a guess?
Oh.
Shit. Those would have been my first 2 guesses. So I honestly don't even have an educated guess. Let's go with...
Yeah, Garry, you're about to give Kevin the answer.
It's the assist that throw it off. I couldn't even give you an educated guess.
All right, I'll read the question one more time before we get Garry, before we get your second guess. I got to read the question one more time. Nikola Jokic joined this person as the only players to lead their team in points, rebounds, assists, and blocks entering the NBA Finals. They're the only 2 players to do it since 1974. Your other guess, Garry?
Jay West.
That is also incorrect. Final call.
Bob Cousy.
Nope, that is also incorrect. Kevin, do you have a second guess?
Is he a guard or a center?
It's the assist.
You guys are going to be upset with yourself.
Most
It was this century, in the 21st century.
Oh, what?
Well, you said
Yeah.
since.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it
Magic
happened in
too.
1974.
Magic? Was it Magic?
No.
Oh, LeBron.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't
No.
Brown.
Tim Duncan in 2003. Tim Duncan in 2003 led the Spurs in points, rebounds, assists, and blocks, entering the NBA
That was a good
Finals.
one.
The finals in which they won. Thank you, Kevin. I
My
appreciate it.
1974 threw me
No
off.
one gets a point.
Yeah.
It's all good.
1974 threw me off.
No layup for Garry.
Yeah. This time I
That
actually
could've
wish I
been-
didn't go ask for the bottom of the bottom.
Yeah, I was about to say that would have been Kevin's if you weren't like, I want to go first. Okay. All right. Now let's move on to the
Usually
next
you get the
one.
softballs first. Damn.
On Thursday, Nikola, and by the way, this is Jaevon's, as Jaevon is in second place. On Thursday, Nikola Jokic joined this person as the only players to record a triple-double in their NBA Finals debuts. Read the question one more time, Jaevon. On Thursday, Nikola Jokic joined this person as the only players
Seen this on
to
ESPN
record
too.
a triple-double in their NBA Finals debut.
Magic Johnson?
That is incorrect. Do we have Kevin? Do you have a guess?
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and say Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant is incorrect. Garry, do you have a guess?
Finals debut.
Well, I'm going to go with the second one. Yeah.
All right. So I'll read the question one more time.
Yes.
All right, Jaevon, I'll read the question and then you can give us your final answer. On Thursday, Nikola Jokic joined this person as the only players to record a triple-double in their NBA Finals debuts.
LeBron?
That is incorrect.
It can't be for everything. I knew it was. I knew it was LeBron.
No,
MJ.
Garry, that is incorrect. That is incorrect, Garry. So this also happened this century. But we've run out of time. We hear the instrumental going for another loop. So that's the end of that question. The answer to this question, who also had a triple-double in their NBA Finals debut? It was close. Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd had a triple-double in his NBA Finals debut back in 2002 versus the Los Angeles Lakers.
They got swept.
Yep, they sure did. Okay, let me just make sure. Okay, great. Got that. Okay, here we go. Now on to the duos. On Thursday, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. By the way, this is for Kevin. On Thursday, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic joined elite company as the third pair of teammates with 10 assists each in an NBA Finals game. Who was one of the other duos? So there was two other duos that have done this in the NBA Finals, recording at least 10 assists each in a single game. So I'll read the question one more time for Kevin. On Thursday, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic joined elite company as the third pair of teammates with 10 assists each in an NBA Finals game. Who was one of the other duos?
Shit. Well, I think I'm gonna have to hit my Jaevon button. I'm gonna have to go LeBron and Kyrie.
That is incorrect. Do we have any other guesses?
In the finals?
I doubt Kobe and Shaq. Highly doubt they never played now.
Is that a guess? Is that a guess,
Nah,
Garry?
it's not a guess. No, it's not. This is tough. My line is a tough one. Especially this is an old school one, right? Is this century again, Shaun, or no?
No, this one is not in the 21st century. Good question. So I'll read the question again. On Thursday, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic joined elite company as the third pair of teammates with 10 assists each in an NBA Finals game. Who was one of the other duos? Any final guesses before we move on?
Magic and Kareem.
Oh, I was going to guess that right
Ding,
now.
ding, ding, ding.
Oh,
that is
that's
not
crazy,
correct.
Kev.
That is not correct.
Oh, I was about to say that's crazy.
So
I was
the
literally
ding,
1 second.
I'm sorry.
1 second away from
Sorry.
saying that.
Not pass the ball.
I didn't mean to have a false alarm. Magic and Kareem is incorrect. Any other final guesses, guys? this did happen in the 20th century, so in the 1900s. That's not very easy. All right, so this happened in the 80s and the 90s, actually. Nope. All right, that's it for this question. So the other two duos, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, did it 3 times.
I didn't think Michael passed that many times.
Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen did it 3 times. I mean, Kevin, they had a lot of finals games to do it in. So they did it 3 times. The other duo, Kevin, this is why I gave a false ding.
It was
Magic Johnson and James Worthy.
Wow,
did it twice. So MJ and Scottie Pippen did it 3 times, and Magic Johnson and James Worthy did it twice. All right, so
James Worthy.
It's still long way to top, fellas. Don't forget.
Kevin's like, I haven't done anything this week, but no one else.
If nobody scored, I'm still winning.
Hey, but I got a 4th one for this week, so this is the bonus. This is the free for all. This is where the chaos will come. So here we go, gentlemen. Nikola Jokic is the 2nd player in NBA history to lead both teams outright in points and assists in a finals debut.
You saw
Who
the finger?
was the other player? I saw the finger instantly. Like, I don't even think Kevin read the question. He went for it.
I was say next time read the question first and then put the ticker.
All right, I got you. So, Kevin, I'll go to you first. I mean, Gary, Jaevon, do either of you want to go second? Oh, okay.
It's over.
Okay.
Go ahead and add the point.
Yeah.
Michael Jeffrey.
That is correct. Bonus point for Kevin to try and pick up. For Kevin to try and pick up another point. Do you know the year that he did that?
I do not.
Oh, 98.
No, Jaevon, that is incorrect. Gary, do you know the year?
96.
Read the
finals
ticker.
debut. Vano's debut is what, 91?
71?
Gary gets a point. There you go. Nice job.
3-peat. 3-peat.
All right, so now we have Kevin at the
No,
top
hold on.
with
We got a
8.
KD's pop quiz. Oh, I thought you. Hold on, never mind.
No, I was just doing the score recap real quick. So after 32 episodes, we have Kevin up top with 18, Jaevon with 11, and Gary with 11.
He's on that ass, boy.
Oh yeah, I'm tied. I'm tied for second now. Vaughn, I'm on you, man. You better be
Tied
careful.
for second. All right, Kevin's pop quiz. Give it to us. Let's hear it.
So Shaun stumped us. So this one's gonna be hard. If you guys get this right,
you guys got the bonus question though. So nice job.
Okay.
It's 5 points worth 5
Active quarterbacks that have thrown at a minimum of have started a minimum of 20 games that have never thrown a pick 6. I'll even break it down for you. 2 AFC and 1 AFC.
You said.
Oh, there's 2 quarterbacks?
Repeat the question,
Okay.
please, Kevin.
So, out of all the active quarterbacks, they have to have a minimum of 20 starts, have not thrown a pick 6.
Moms.
Jalen Hurts. Maybe you just gave yourself some love. I don't know.
Moms.
And you said, what was the minimum? 20 starts?
20 games. 20 games started.
That's tough.
He's in the AFC or NFC?
He said 2 AFC, 2 NFC.
No, 2 AFC, 1 NFC.
Oh, okay. So there's 3 guys.
They're not a top guy, Toddy.
Kenny Pickett. My guy ain't throwing no picks, I think.
Ryan Tannehill.
No, he got a lot of games. Tua?
Yeah, but it's 20 or more.
No, we're going to start going to all the
Is Golf
quarterbacks.
one of them?
McCorkle
You'd
has
be
definitely
mad
been
you
picked
didn't
off.
You already said Tua, Gary. Oh, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. That's it now. Tell us the answer. There's too many guesses. We're going through all the
Russell
quarterbacks.
Wilson.
No, he
Daniel Jones. Zach Wilson. And Mitch Trubisky.
I knew it was the bottom.
Garbo ass quarterback.
Yeah, that's the.
I should know my guy Mitch, man. My back
QB,
man.
Shame on you, Gary. That's your guy,
I
right?
was surprised he never threw a pick 6 though. I know he threw a lot of picks though.
I'm surprised Daniel Jones never threw a pick 6.
Yeah, I can lie. Oh, he fumbles. He fumbles. He don't throw
a lot of pick almost. It's that time.
That fact or cap.
Can't be saying some wild stuff on here though.
Hey,
remember,
man.
this is we got no time to think. Just let the audience know. We discussed that today. I was wondering, do we get time to think? Because these questions be hard, Kev. So
beforehand, this is not a part of the annual rundown. So this is the 3rd edition of Fact or Cap. Excuse me. For the first question of the day, Is Jimmy Garoppolo the worst quarterback in the AFC? So let me list off all the AFC quarterbacks for you. We have Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, Tua Tagovailoa, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, AJ Richardson, Ryan Tannehill, Mac Jones, and CJ Stroud. Gary, I'm going to go to you first. Is Jimmy Garoppolo the worst quarterback in the AFC?
I don't like just with that list. I don't see why not, especially with the news of him barely. He might not even be on the team if his physical don't go through. So, man, that's why I say he's even a quarterback for that team. So, yeah, I for sure think that he's probably one of the worst quarterbacks.
Not one of the worst, the worst.
The worst, yes. Fact, he is the worst quarterback in the AFC, especially because he put that dirty jersey on before this jersey. So, we all know what jersey that is. So, he for sure is the worst quarterback. And these guys are probably going to give him some fake love because, you know, it's their former guy. But
all right, Shaun, what are you thinking? Is he the worst quarterback in the AFC?
Cap! No way, no how, as Garry loves to say. It's cap. Jimmy Garoppolo is not the worst quarterback in the AFC. When you still got a guy in McCorkle Jones who is in the AFC, and you got another guy in Kenneth Pickett in the AFC, and we're saying that Jimmy Garoppolo,
some rookies in
Jimmy
there
GQ, he's the worst? Maybe he can't stay healthy, but if we're talking about talent, there's no way he's the worst quarterback in the AFC.
Hey, Tommy.
But throw.
I'll say Cap as well. I think, you know, his resume is he's been to a Super Bowl, he's been to NFC Championship games. His only thing is he can't stay healthy. Now, as far as talent-wise, he could be the worst quarterback because maybe all of those guys are more talented than him as far as tangibles, you know, arm strength, this, that, and the third, and athletic ability because Jimmy's really not that athletic, but his resume is too good for him to be the worst quarterback in the AFC. There's a lot of quarterbacks that haven't even been to the playoffs that are in the AFC. Kenny Pickett. I mean, that's one off the top. So
my guy's better than him, y'all. Come on now. You know you would take him over him. Come on now. Bro barely throws.
The fact that you just said my guy, that just gets rid of your take right there. You said my guy.
Under 100 yards throwing, bro. What kind of quarterback doesn't even get 100 yards throwing? Come on now. Y'all over here talking with y'all heart. With that former Niner blood in you. I'm looking at the list again, bro.
He might not be the quarterback.
He might be better than Mac Jones, I guess, but I don't know. That's like a neck and neck.
I guess.
Neck and neck. It's a neck and neck, man. Especially with his availability.
He ain't top 10.
Yep. That's the easiest question you said today, kid. Fact, 1000%.
I'm going to have to go Cap. There's guys like Mac Jones and Kenny Pickett that still play in the AFC.
Oh, you're disrespecting Kenny Pickett. Y'all finna see this season. Y'all finna see this season now. Y'all finna see this season
out
now.
there with throwing the ball with 2 gloves on. I gotta pick Jimmy G. I know he might not pass his physical,
and he's doing great. All right,
he can't be the worst. He can't be the worst. There's too many bad quarterbacks in the bottom of the
I was gonna wait. Let's bet right now. Week 1. We're betting week 1 right now.
We got him. We got him.
I was gonna wait. I was gonna wait till a little closer to week 1, but you know, fuck that. What y'all want? Go ahead. It's a blue bill for each of you guys.
The crazy part is I've ran into 2 Steeler fans in like the past 3 days, and they've been talking a lot about Kenny, about how he just needed to get. He didn't start the season, so he had his game. I don't think he started till week 5. So they were talking about how he the season started 3-9 and he ended with a winning record. I don't know what it was. Garry might know, but they said he played well down the stretch, had a lot of game-winning drives. So they had a lot go right for them in the last week to be able to make the playoffs. But Joe Flacco scored 3 points against the Tua-less Dolphins in that 6-3 game. And that was kind of the game that fucked him and kind of knocked him out of the playoffs because the Jets couldn't score more than 6 points. So thank you, Joe Flacco.
What's up? We're making a bet, 100 each. What's up?
Whoa!
I'll take that. I'll take that. Thank you very much.
You would have bet all of us?
No, I'm gonna bet.
He just wants to bet you and I each 100.
100 for Shaun and 100 for Vaughn. Week 1.
I love that. I love it.
It's good. 200. That's go towards a car payment.
Because because
Garry.
Tesla.
Garry.
Tesla.
I was about to say I wasn't gonna put the vehicle on record, but Garry came up this past week. So,
self-drive.
congratulations to Garry.
Appreciate y'all.
So for everyone who isn't a part of the Stats Over Politics group chat, we were going back and forth last week. So we had to bring it up to the pod. So I'm going at you, Toddy, first. I'm letting you know now. This is a fucking TikTok clip. I need to hear this from you. Is DeAndre Hopkins a top 10 receiver? And I need you to name him.
Fact. Okay. We'll go. This is just no order. Okay, so we'll go. I'll say Jetta's number one. Jetta's being Justin Jefferson. Well, this is just no order, so I'll just name a whole bunch of guys. So I got Jetta's, Tyreek, Jamar's in there, Stefan's in there.
Cooper Kupp, AJ Brown.
Yeah, I'll say AJ's in there.
Debo.
Well, we'll get your turn, Gay. I got to hear this list.
It's hard without the list, man. These lists are hard, Kay, when you got on the top of your head.
A whole bunch of guys in there.
I will say, putting them on the spot, it is kind of hard to generate a list. It's
5. Yeah, I mean DeAndre's in there, so there's not 10 receivers better than DeAndre Hopkins. I'll just say that.
Shaun, what are you thinking? Are there 10 guys better than DeAndre Hopkins?
No, there are. And just to answer the prompt, DeAndre Hopkins is a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL. That is a fact. Because I mean, like I was just saying,
arguably a top 5 receiver.
We could each go around and list off all the guys that we have ahead of DeAndre Hopkins. But I feel like Jaevon.
Kev sounds like he has his 10. That's better. That's what Kevin.
Well, he likely does. He likely does. Kevin probably would have 15, knowing him. But Jaevon said it best, in my opinion, that I don't know where he is in my top 10, but he is in the top 10 because there are not 10 guys that are better than him in the NFL, in my opinion.
Sorry.
He would still be top 5 without a doubt, if not for injuries and a suspension. But the last 2 years, as Kevin wants to remind us on our Instagram at Stats Over Politics, that Devontae Smith, show the jersey for YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, Kevin. Devontae Smith has had an amazing last 2 seasons compared to DeAndre
Only 2
Hopkins.
seasons.
2 season sample size. And so anyways, when you look at DeAndre Hopkins versus Devontae Smith over the last 2 years, doesn't look great. I'm taking what I've seen from DeAndre Hopkins his entire career, and that's a Hall of Fame wide receiver. He's still in the top 10 in my opinion.
Devontae Smith, Hall of Fame wide receiver?
Not yet.
That's early. Gary, let me hear it. Fact or cap?
I pulled up a list real quick, and I had to do it because I gotta. He started naming them off. I wanted to count. It's capped right now. It's capped. I want to hold off really because I really feel like he's gonna have a comeback season. He's gonna do great and catapult himself, just like Shaun said, maybe top 8, top 5 again. But due to what we have seen so far, and all the guys who've been putting in work while he's been gone, he's on the bubble. You already got Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Diggs, Kupp. I'm taking Brown. That's already at 8 already. And I didn't even mention Debo and Mike Evans. So, I would have right there DK Metcalf. So, that's right there. That's 10 right there for you guys. So, I'll put him on the bubble right at 11. But if he has a great season and proves, he still got everything, which I still think he does. I was on that side of the fence when we talked about this last time. I still believe in DeAndre Hopkins. So, I don't want to make that I want to make that clear. But just looking at what it is right now, those top 10 guys, I'm taking over him right now. So, it is what it is.
Crack. Let's get into this. 10 receivers better than DeAndre Hopkins. First 5, no debate. We have Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, and Stephon Diggs. Then we go down to the second half of the guys. We have AJ Brown, Cooper Kupp, Debo Samuel.
Whoa. I heard no's from Cooper Kupp from these guys? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
the MVP of the Super Bowl? Oh, y'all forgot about what he did to y'all, huh? I forgot. Okay, huh?
He ain't better than D-Hop.
Oh, you forgot who he did to the Super Bowl. Triple Crown. Already. They forgot that. They forgot. It's the Rams hater right
Cooper Kupp is wrong.
Go ahead, keep going. He's
my
better than Debo.
10,
that's for a fact, 1,000%.
We have Mike Evans, ladies and gentlemen. So that are 10 receivers better than DeAndre Hopkins.
I didn't hear 10. I heard like
Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp, AJ Brown, Deebo Samuel, Mike Evans, and I said the last one was. Did I say Kupp already?
Yeah, you sure did.
He didn't give me 10.
I guess he is number 10. He is.
We go Scary Terry.
No, you didn't say
DK. We can go Devontae. There's a lot of guys at the bottom of
I
the
ain't
list
gonna
that
lie.
we put in.
We didn't mention CD. You know, I'm not gonna bet. I hate the Cowboys.
Nah,
I don't know
no,
that.
we
My
ain't
whole
gonna
family
mention
likes. I'm just letting you know.
The Eagle
That was
fan
that
came
was
out.
personal.
The Eagle fan came out and said
Waddle.
hell to the no.
T. Higgins, DJ Moore. I'm just naming guys out
These
there.
are
I'm
20
just naming
guys.
I'm just naming guys. Keenan Allen. I'm just naming guys. I'm not saying he's
All
better
these
than
dudes are dogs, but DeAndre Hopkins are
Michael
top
Thomas?
5 wide receiver.
if he comes
Okay,
back.
yeah, we gotta move on.
Yeah.
I love him, but we can't bring up Michael Thomas.
That's all
All right, so
I mean,
for the
kind of the same
last,
situation as Diop. He hasn't played in 2 years.
I don't know. The D-Hop have to take drugs to get better. But anyways, last question of fact over cap. Is James Harden's best chance to win a championship in Philadelphia?
No.
I'm going to start off with you, Shaun. What are you thinking?
Sorry.
Well, I'm going to say fact. But I'm going to put a little bit of an asterisk on it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let me explain. I say it's a fact that James Harden's best chance to win a championship is in Philly as a star, as one of the leaders of a championship team. He still got 5 to 7, 8 years left in the league that he could go and join a team and win a championship on a team that he wasn't one of the key pieces, like one of the top 3 players.
Yeah,
exactly. But him being a top 2 guy, like this is his best chance. Because I thought about it. I saw like there was a picture going around Twitter saying that the NBA scriptwriters were going crazy because it was a James Harden warm-up Phoenix Suns shirt. And it was like, James Harden going to Phoenix. And it's like, James Harden going to Phoenix, that would be a better chance than in Philly. But would he be the second best player on that team? Probably not. In that situation, probably the third. So I say fact, but with the caveat.
Toddy, what are we thinking?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Cap. His best chance is seldom already. I mean, he had a chance to win with KD, Russ, and OKC, and he had a chance to win with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant and James Harden. Everybody thought this was going to be not one, not two, not three, not four. It was like the Heatles all over again. So, and then kind of how that kind of just blew up in everybody's face, and just them only playing like 10 games together ever. It was pretty insane. So I'm gonna say Cap on this, and I think James Harden leaves Philly and he's gonna have his options open. I think Phoenix is a team to look out for. Maybe he teams up with LeBron, Kev. I mean, KD or Harden hasn't played. He's played with a lot of great players. He played with LeBron James before.
All right, Gary, we call him fact or cap.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm on like Shaun's boat where like I feel like if you want him to be the main guy, I feel like I'm trying to look at the teams where he can go to where he can still be a top 2 player. I mean, maybe if he goes to Miami somehow, some way, he could be a top 2 guy with Jimmy, I guess. But then again, I think Bam will be
that Bam disrespect.
I mean, I feel like he would just control the offense more, and Bam will probably take that more step back of a role, you know what I'm saying, playing that more background. So even if he went to Memphis, maybe, I know it'd be kind of weird, but I'm just saying like there's teams where maybe he could be with him and Ja, he could be top 2. Yeah, shit, crazy ass thing. If he went to the Warriors, so there's better situations for him in terms of winning a championship, like Shaun said, if he's like not the number 2 guy. But I feel like if he wants to be number 2 and have like as much control and how much credit as he deserves in winning a championship, I feel like fact, Philly is the best chance for him to win a championship, and I think he should thug it out and stay with Embiid. I think they had 2 years now. I feel like the first year was like midway in the season. So okay, this is the first full year they had together. I know there's reports that he wants to go somewhere where he's the number 1 guy, be himself. Blah blah blah, bro. Just play with the MVP and get together and get on that road and get over that Celtics hump and get to the chip. And I feel like they got enough talent to go do that. So I feel like he should thug it out with the Philadelphia 76ers and try to get to the chip with them.
I'm calling Cat, man. I'm ready for the James Harden trophy running tour. We talked about LA. He can join LeBron and Kyrie and Luka in Dallas. I want to see him win a ring, man. We talk about guys with no rings, and I would really hate for us to say James Harden, when we look at the back of it, to put up the numbers that he's done, and for him to not finish with a ring, it would really hurt me. So I'm here to say that I'm ready to see him ring chase. No matter where it is, what role he got to play, I'm here to see him ring chase.
I mean, I would love that too, Kev. I would love him. I mean, hey, actually, Shaun, I think this might change our viewpoint just a little bit. Maybe he was a third wheel, like they said, on the Lakers, but maybe he played a key role in them winning. He made clutch buckets, things of nature. You really had impact on one or two games like he did in the Philadelphia series, dropped a 40 ball in the series, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like if he does that, then yeah, he's going to get the credit that he deserves as well as get the chip. So, I still think it's fact that because I want to see him thug it out with the Philadelphia 76ers, to be honest. But yeah, if he goes on, like Kev says, on a world tour to go get a ring, hey, go ahead. And then David West do that? One of the players. There's a lot of players who did that back in the day, try to hop on LeBron's low bandwagon and get them a ring. So
there we go. Back to LeBron.
Whatever you got to do to not be Charles
All
Barkley.
roads lead back to the GOAT.
Any final thoughts, guys, other than our LeBron thoughts?
Not really. There was a couple of boxing updates. We could do a quick little boxing segment. Ryan Garcia called out Rolly Romero on Instagram today. I think that'll be a pretty good matchup for them in the 130.
They have a big fight coming up, actually.
130, 135. And Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence got announced. What was it, I think it was a week ago.
It's going to be a great fight.
I think Errol Spence wins by decision. If not, TKO 10th round.
All right, that'll be interesting without a doubt. Are you feeling better now with your allergies?
We'll see, man. But shout out to everyone who keeps tuning in, supporting, keep showing love. We all appreciate it. Keep tuning in and keep showing love, man. Appreciate everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah, without a doubt. And make sure to give us a like on YouTube. It helps us a lot. And if you enjoy the show, hit subscribe to get notifications when we go live. You can follow us on social media, on Instagram and TikTok at Stats Over Politics. See all the great content that Kevin's pumping out, as well as on Twitter at Stats or Politics. You can subscribe, rate, and review on all podcast platforms. And if you're enjoying the show, which we know you likely are, if you've made it this far, give us 5 stars, as we really appreciate it. For Kevin Dent, Jaevon Toddy, Garry Singh, I am Shaun Holko. Thank you for tuning in to episode number 32 of Stats Over Politics. We will be back again next Monday, a little after 7 p.m., because we'll be going live right after Game 5 of the NBA Finals. We'll see you all next week here on Stats Over Politics.